to Mumbai, unending, inseparable, unborn. All of you who helped us make the film, and all of those of you who didn't, thank you so much, and you dwarf even this guy. Thank you very much indeed.
Criticised for his alleged blasting of Slumdog Millionaire in his blog. He's said to have complained that the movie portrays India as a third world country. He went on to despair that had a Westerner not taken on the project, originally an Indian idea, it would never have received global recognition. Of course, Mr. Bachchan later dismissed accusations of slamming Slumdog and claimed he'd merely voiced other bloggers' opinions.
I don't agree with what he says, but definitely I respect, because I admire him and respect, because we're living in a democratic country and everybody has got the right to speak and their opinion. So I feel I do respect what he said, but I don't agree to what he has said. Do you know? No, we are not poor. We are growing. You know. Let's face it. We are poor. There is poverty. You know. So let's deal with it.
He's also shown the growing economy part of Mumbai. Sure. Which most of us tend to ignore when we watch a film like this, because then we get very one-track and we get very touchy about the fact that, oh my God, why have you shown the slums and why have you shot in Dharavi? And that is one side of Mumbai, but the other side of it is very much the growing economy. There's this very important scene in the film where the boy who plays Salim sits in this tower block and says, "This used to be our slums, brother." You know, this is where you used to see the slums, and look at the buildings that have come up over here overnight. Bilkul. So I think it's really wrong when people say that you've only focused on the poverty. I mean, you need to just broaden it and see that, you know, there's a lot more that is shown in the film.
India, दुनिया का सेंटर बन गया है भाई, और मैं इस सेंटर का सेंटर.
I started as the casting director, not as the co-director, which happened much later. The dialogues happened much later as well. At the end of the day, it is an Indian film for me. It's a film about our kind of emotion. It's a film about just the way we express ourselves in movies. When I, convinced Danny that we should do 1/3 of it in Hindi, because that would really make it come alive and make it, work for us, but also be true to the core of this subject. And he agreed very graciously, brought me on board as the co-director of the film, especially for these young kids who speak only Hindi in the film. I mean, it's become a film with no boundaries. It's a film that, nobody can claim as their own. It's about us. It's for everyone to see. It's crossed and transcended every kind of small defining boundary that I know.
Slumdog Millionaire may have united the critics in praise for the British film, but in India opinion is still divided. These protesters say the movie denigrates them and made their feelings clear by burning effigies of director Danny Boyle.
Today we've burnt these effigies because in the film slum dwellers have been termed as dogs, which is insulting and abusive. The makers of this film have the right to earn fame and money, but not by insulting the poor.